So many people want to hear my voice, and the thing about it is that like using this voice in videos is really hard because everyone around me knows that I'm trans. So mentally it can be kind of hard to get like in that headspace of like using my proper voice because so many people around me are so used to hearing my old voice. That makes sense.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to talk about this because you must have obviously heard it from someone else. So the issue with the MrBeast community is actually getting more and more exposed as time goes on. This guy is a freaking genius, I'll be honest, but also he's a big criminal. And in a few minutes, I'll get into that statement later. But first things first, I want to speak about Kris, the famous Ava Tyson. Now, just in case you could get confused with the name, this Ava Tyson is Kris. The Kris in which used to be in the old MrBeast videos, the Kris who used to be a man that we used to know. So just in short, Kris or Ava Tyson is a pedophile. And just in case you actually do not know the meaning of pedophile, I mean, you can Google it up. But let me take you back in time. Jimmy actually started his channel back then in 2012, where he was just playing random Minecraft game and a whole lot of other games in his channel. The first channel MrBeast actually created was this channel called Beast5TY, in which it wasn't really a huge success because he kept on uploading a whole lot of gaming videos and he kept on failing subsequently. And then he opened another channel in which he called That Dude, and he repeated what he did in the first channel, played the games subsequently and multiple times, and then he changed the name of the channel to what we have today, MrBeast.
You know what's most amazing to me about this whole scenario? That nobody seems to point out this guy's name, MrBeast. Do you think that's a bit of a strange name? Why would the largest YouTube channel with an affinity towards children in the world be named after the beast from the devil? Why would that happen? Is that a coincidence?
I mean, think about it. Why in the world does he answer beasts? I don't know. Maybe it comes from Satan. It's not really a proven fact. I just have my thoughts on it, and you're very much allowed to give me your own thoughts. According to the history of MrBeast, it is said that his name actually comes from a random Xbox game in which he was playing, and the name was suggested for him, MrBeast. Now, you know how most times when you want to log into an email, you randomly get different suggestions and you just pick. That was the exact same thing that happened to Jimmy. He randomly got a suggestion, MrBeast, and he ended up choosing it. But some critics and some sources actually suggest or say that the name actually is very much demonic and comes from Satan. Think about it. Why in the world would the biggest YouTube channel that has the audience of little children under the age of 16 have a name about beasts? Now, for those of you who read the Bible, in the book of Revelation chapter 13, the Bible talks about the beast and the dragon, and which are symbols of Satan, the devil. I don't know. What do you think about this? Who knows? Maybe it's true. This guy actually works for Satan, or maybe it's just false, or maybe it's just a coincidence that he answers beast. What do you think? Along the line, Jimmy started increasing in his YouTube audience, and obviously his YouTube video budget started increasing from $10,000 per video to $60,000 per video to even up to $100,000 per video. And today, this guy spends about $5 to $7 million just for one video.
I've gathered 50 of the biggest YouTubers on the planet, and whichever one lasts the longest in this queue wins that $1 million for their subscribers. Never before seen in YouTube history. 1 billion subscribers worth of YouTubers are competing for $1 million.
Yeah, I know, that's pretty impressive, but think about the fact that he slowly had to build an audience, and at some point when he had an audience of little children, then Kris saw an opportunity to pounce. Kris used to have this relationship with some guy called Shadman. Now, for those of you who actually do not know who Shadman is some guy on YouTube who draws sexual pictures of little children. I mean, these pictures are so inappropriate, and we can see in this picture, Kris actually went ahead to even buy some of his drawings of children. So in short, Kris actually loves the work of Shadman, which is drawing some kids inappropriately. So here's a clip of Ava, which is Kris, actually talking about a, sexual video of Janet McCurdy.
But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that people might want to see him, so it's there if you want it.
This guy is so weird. When someone tells you that he uploads a video and there's a link to the video and he tells you, I do not want you to see it, that is actually an indirect encouragement that you can go ahead and watch the video. There are a whole lot of leaked informations on Twitter, in which has been deleted currently, about Ava having some inappropriate affairs with little children. It all started when Kris actually came out publicly to announce that he has now transferred from a man to a woman. And initially when he came out to actually announced that he's now transgender, it seemed like everyone supported it, but a year later, everyone is actually against the idea. The truth has slowly been revealed. There was this one guy on YouTube who released a video of screenshots of conversations between Ava and someone named Lava. Now, just to be clear, Ava was actually 20 at the time, and this Lava person was 13. And also, just to be clear, Lava is actually a guy, not a girl. And yes, obviously, some denials would actually encroach because people do not want to be exposed. But as time goes on, some people come out to speak up more and more. Like this guy who came out to say, yes, Kris Tyson actually had some sexual affairs also with him.
Kris Tyson from MrBeast used me, manipulated me, and did very inappropriate things with me while I was about 15 years old. I was actually friends with Lava GS at the time, who is the main victim of Kris that everyone has been talking about these last few days. Me and him were both initially involved in running Kris's Discord server, helping him set up his Twitch streams and moderating them.
Nate's calling. Hey, what's up? You're on stream.
This Discord server that we were a part of had about 10 people in it, most of whom were minors. I'm not sure how they got in there, other than me and Lava. He won a giveaway and Kris invited him after that, and Kris invited me after I saw one of his tweets asking for help setting up a Garry's Mod server for the 10 million subscriber MrBeast video. This turned into us having lots of private conversations with Kris and playing video games with him for hours on end. Not only did we do a lot of unpaid work for him that he promised he would pay us for, he would also frequently bring up sexual topics that was definitely not appropriate to bring up around 15, 16-year-olds. He would even go as far as linking me several different corn and videos throughout the time of me talking with him.
And if that wasn't bad enough for Kris, Lava actually came back with another tweet saying that their memory was wrong and this kind of conversations shouldn't have happened with people at that kind of age. And now, obviously, as you can tell, everyone has an opinion on this, but majority of persons actually have a negative opinion, especially on social media, I mean Twitter and both on Instagram. Now, if you check Ava's account on Instagram, this guy has a whole lot of lashes in his comment section. Let's read some of those. And here we have the latest picture in which he uploaded on Instagram, and here's where the real trouble lies. Let's go to the comment section. And as you can see, the first comment says, did bro get caught talking to a minor? We also have here, I hear you like him young, Kris. And then the next one says, say Kris, I hear you like him young. And then the next one goes, this dude got a son. And the next one now also says, it's always the trans ones, Lemao. In total, you need to understand that a whole lot of people are actually criticizing Ava from the decision in which he made. But there's this special guy who actually comes out publicly to speak against Ava, which was actually his crew member. Now, for those of you who have been following MrBeast for a while, I'm sure you should know this guy called Jake the Vikings. He actually appeared in MrBeast's channel back then in sometime 2021, and he actually helped MrBeast to grow the channel to about 40 million subscribers before he disappeared. At some point, people started noticing the fact that he was no longer in MrBeast videos, and a whole lot of people questioned, why is Jake the Vikings absent? Along the line, Jake actually had to address the fact that he was absent, and this was what he said.
So, as you may have noticed, you probably, if you're a MrBeast fan, you probably have noticed I have not been in the videos as of late. My piece no longer fit the puzzle, if that's the best way to put it. I helped the channel grow. When I joined, it was at 4 million. And when I left, I think we had just passed 30 million. You know, I had a couple opportunities like this past year where I wanted to go to different conventions and, you know, just be a part of it as, you know, just Jake the Viking. And I wasn't able to because, of course, work came first. So it's like, there's no hard feelings anywhere. And the fact that I was able to be a part of one of the best YouTube channels in the world, you know, and learn from one of the best and be a part of the best, you know, and kind of put that on my resume and kind of check it off is amazing.
And everything seemed cool until the same Jake the Vikings came speaking against Kris about his issues with little children, or as you can say, minors. And then Ava had to actually fight back too, reminding him that his brother-in-law actually has a criminal record. And he said this, who you keep in your company describes a whole lot about you. And then she followed down with another post alongside with a screenshot of his brother-in-law having a criminal record. So at the end of the day, these two guys that used to be members of MrBeast crew are actually having some backlash backlashes against themselves. It's really amazing how a year ago, a whole lot of people predicted this because Kris actually coming out to be trans would actually affect MrBeast's channel. And now it has come to pass.
Enough of the fans were critical of him that in April of 2023, SunnyV2 posted a video positing that Kris's transition itself could be a brand risk for the channel, considering how many people around the world are not trans positive. At the time, many were critical of it, with even MrBeast himself responding, "Kris isn't a nightmare, he's my friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off." Sunny's video got a lot of backlash, with a dislike ratio of 40%, far below his channel average.
It feels so sad that Kris was actually the one who was beside MrBeast when his channel was founded in 2012. And here we are, 2024, about 12 years later, this same guy wants to destroy the exact same channel he helped build. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know too much, but for a fact, what I'm sure is this is actually a work from the devil. The only reason they try to attack little children is because they know that adults like you and I are not going to transgender for any reason. So they need your children and they are coming for your children to make sure that they use your children as targets. But in summary, this actually hasn't ended because in the exact same MrBeast crew, we have someone like Kris who is being operated by the devil, and then we have someone like Chandler who is being operated by Jesus because this guy just started releasing videos of him preaching on social media.
Today's reading is from John chapter 10 verse 10. It says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly."
Because believe me, there is still more we have to find out.